girls, where are you?
Good morning.
Hey, there you are. Good morning. It's English time. Let's do this. Ay, 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 ay. What a life. It's finally Friday, guys. Let's freaking do this. Do you have the um tell me about your exam. What happened yesterday, Sophie? I didn't you didn't tell me what was your exams plan.
Yeah, because it was very well. I sent the email on Monday. Yeah, on Monday, and they told me that there is not place for Tuesday, so they only can offer me yesterday.
I have what
Um,
then?
they only can offer
Ah,
the yesterday. Yeah,
they
they
only could offer in past.
cool. Okay, yeah, yes, that's right. Cool. So I had to accept it because I had already paid the exam.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
and they don't give you an option. That's right. But when did they tell you?
that there is not
No, no,
place
when?
for the
When
Thursday.
did they tell you?
Ah, on on Monday. On Monday, but I saw the email on Thursday because
Mm.
they answered me late. So I yeah
Aha, like you were
the
not
email.
checking the
Yeah.
email when they sent it to you. Okay.
Mhm.
And how was it?
Well, I felt uh, with more confidence than
Mm-hmm.
uh, past times, but I don't know. At the end, honestly, at the end, I am really, really stressful. At the end of the
Stressful?
exam,
No, you stressed.
stressed, stressful because it taking me a lot of time to resolve the reading. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why every time that I do an exam, and when I see that all my classmates or everyone end, I get stressed because I cannot end, never I cannot end with a in a short time. I know that that is not a
Mm-hmm.
problem, but when I started to see that everyone is gone,
Mm-hmm.
I get stressed.
And,
And
and
it was,
really, everybody was gone.
yeah, almost everybody. So and also I was very stressful because I had
Stressed, not stressful.
stress,
If
stress,
you're
stress.
stressful, you produce stress.
Okay, yeah, okay, okay. I was very stressed because I have uh, many important things to do after the exam. So I
Exactly.
also have to think about all the time, and I
You were
don't know.
distracted.
Yeah, yeah, especially in the last part that it was reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also the
Jesus.
reading are not very friendly.
Why?
Honestly, yeah,
What do
they
you
was
mean
so
friendly?
bored.
Ah, okay.
No, no, I don't know.
Jesus.
But I felt better in the listening, definitely, definitely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I think that is because I I like to listen interviews in English just because
That
I like.
helps. Exactly. That's the positive thing about all this ability is that if there's personal interest, you can do a lot of things.
Exactly.
That's a positive thing about this, but in cases of reading, for example, that's kind of boring sometimes. So it's a little
Mhm.
bit difficult to say.
Mhm.
Jesus. Okay. Well, I really want to check what was the result. When are you gonna get them?
I don't know. Sometimes they used to take like a 2 weeks or something like that to give us a result, but I don't know because the next the next 2 weeks is it's holiday
Mm-hmm.
season, so I don't know if they are going to work.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay. Let's see. And did you use the strategies we saw in class? Like the collocations? Did you study them? Did you have better? Did you feel more sure on the writing? What strategies did you use?
uh, I I use the in writing. I use the topics that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I use the comparatives and I use some words that we some collocations. Yes, the collocations. But in the other abilities, I use uh there are strategies that I saw in many videos about TOEFL.
Yes. Exactly.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, uh, good luck on the results. Let's see how it goes. You
Yeah,
know,
thank you.
and we have to get this. You told me, or Sophie told me, Fer, that you wanted to check, you, both of you, wanted to check questions uh, about the exam.
Yes.
Do you want to do it after the class, or do you want to do it like later? What are your plans for
No,
today?
if you're able to do it after class, I mean, I don't think that we take a lot of time.
Okay,
So
perfect.
if you're able after class, it will be okay.
That'll be easier. Cool. Let's do that. Let's do that. Today we're gonna practice. We're gonna keep practicing yesterday's uh, lesson because yesterday I saw that we had more problems with the topic than I expected. So definitely we need to check this. We need to continue with this topic and to produce. Okay, so we're gonna review. That's gonna be useful also for Chucho. Chucho didn't come yesterday, so that's gonna be like the continuation of yesterday's class. Okay, at the end we keep talking about the exam, right? So let's go through. These are pronouns, phrasal verbs, forming adjectives, comparisons. Yesterday we were doing a production exercise, and one of the questions that Sophie had was, okay, I want to know how to use the emphasis words to give a different meaning into the sentence. So the idea is that you give me your opinion. And when you are using emphasis words, usually you use them to give a specific intention to what you want to communicate. Uh-huh. Specific in a way that, for example, we were talking about the Marvel movies, right? And for some people, it's going to be super aggressive to say, "Hey, the new Marvel movies suck. They are super bad," you know? Because probably some young people are gonna be like, "No, hey, wait. Some of them are good, you know. Some of them are you can enjoy them." Uh-huh. So this type of aggression, because it sounds like an aggression, can be diminished by communication. You know, communication is key, and communication emphasis words can help this expression. If I say that the new movies are not quite as good as the first saga, not quite as good as the first saga, I am giving my opinion completely honest because I am saying that I prefer the other one without saying prefer, without being aggressive. Like the word prefer is the most kindergarten English that you can use. There are a lot of other ways that you can use, that you can express your preference, you know? So this is not quite as good as the other. I am hardly as honest as I can be today. And yesterday I saw another one. I forgot. Oh no, it was in a YouTube Shorts. Oh no, I forgot. Where was it? But if I remember it barely. Oh, I remember. Oh, memory. Okay, wait. Barely. Yeah, I was directly after your class yesterday. I sit down, I relax, and I open YouTube Shorts, and I was scrolling. And right in the first video, it was like magic. I think YouTube is listening to my conversations. There was a video where the guy said, people in New York, no, people in California don't spend barely as the same money, the same number, the same money, barely the same number. Yeah, people in California spend barely the same in rent as in New York, because my YouTube Shorts is full with apartments from New York and California, you know. So this specific word was very similar to what we were doing. Barely as much as a New York citizen. What does it mean? Barely as much as a New York citizen.
It's like it's what, California?
Exactly.
That California
Almost.
person are not spending much money as the New Yorkers.
Oh, watch out. That's the opposite. That's the opposite and equal.
As barely as much.
As barely as much.
Like almost.
Exactly. That is correct. So technically, he was saying that the full video was about the money that people spend in California is not so different from New York. And it's not so different, it's exactly the same as what you were checking on the last expressions, just like this. These new shoes are not nearly as comfortable as my old ones. You see, how can you find a conversation where you can use these words? Well, a conversation where you can try, and the one that I found was try to give your opinion about something, being completely honest. Doesn't matter what other people will think. If you think your opinion is controversial, settle it down. We're using barely, not quite, not so, merely, hardly. You know what I mean? That's the best way to use these words. Let's try it. Okay. So yesterday I gave 3 minutes to Sophie and your partners to answer these questions, to complete these questions with a mini composition. 2 or 3 ideas that speak about your opinion. Okay. So I want Fer and Chucho try to do that. Start typing and write mini compositions saying your opinions about these ideas. While I check number 3 with Sophie. Okay.
In my case, I have, but
Do you have you did your homework?
yes.
Oh yeah, Chucho. Excellent. More students than you.
I also have it.
Oh, I have students, guys. Thank you so much. You know, normally my homeworks are ignored. Thank you very much. So then, let's practice then. So Sophie, give me 1 second, right? Because we checked 1 and 2 with you. Let's go directly with Chucho number 3. No, number 1. Number 1. What do you have number 1?
Okay. For example, I wrote, the more mistakes I make, the more learning I have.
The more mistakes I make, the more learning I have. This is very, very similar to what Sophie wrote. The more learning I have. Can you have learning?
That was a question.
That was your question, right?
Yes.
It sounds strange.
Knowledge, I don't know.
Knowledge can be. Knowledge can be. Learning. A good verb for learning can be the more learning I let me show you our website. Word pairings, no, word commonly together words. Words that go together. No, I don't remember the website. Let me open it on Notion because I have it on Notion. Okay, let's change learning for knowledge for a moment while I find the website. Okay?
Okay. Yes.
Good. Give me now an extra part to express your that specific opinion. Okay? If you have to explain why, how would you say it? Try to use de and as.
For example, the more okay. The more mistakes I make, the more strongest I would be.
The more mistakes I make, the more strongest I will be. Strongest is not a comparative.
More strong I would be.
But strong is 1 syllable. If it's 1 syllable, you need to use for comparatives.
The more?
Wrong. 2 syllables. We use 1
yes.
syllable.
Go back to A1. Okay.
Exactly.
The more mistakes I make, the more stronger I would be.
Eliminate more because the R means more.
The more mistakes I make, the stronger I would be.
Exactly. The more mistakes I make, the stronger I will be. Exactly. Why?
Because I know in your life you will find trouble and stuff like that. So this experience help you to develop your personality, and sometimes people doesn't think the same because they see mistakes.
The same. Every time you say the
opinion.
same. Yeah, but This is exactly the point of the class. If you're going to see the same, you're comparing. The same.
Yes, exactly.
You need to use as. When you use the same, you need to use the same as who.
That's cool. Okay. Okay.
So many people.
Go as
Will not.
in few seconds.
Yes. You were saying that many people doesn't think the same or may not think the same.
Okay, yes.
The same as who?
Me.
As me. That part is important. Every time you use equalization, comparison, etc., you need to use as.
Okay. Many people don't think as possibly as me.
As what?
As positively.
Positively. Okay.
Positively, exactly, as me.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
That's it, brother. That's it. Perfect. So this is a very nice example because automatically you had the necessity to use as because you were comparing. You see, if you ignore the second part, the structure is very similar to Spanish.
Sí.
See?
Yes.
Perfect, brother. Perfect. Okay, what about number one for Fer? What do you have?
I have the more mistakes I make in my career, the more hardly is to get a job.
Okay, Spanglish attack. Well, not the Spanglish attack. It's a common source of confusion. The word hardly means a different thing. Super different. Check it out.
Almost no.
Almost no. This is not similar to difficultly.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
the word hard is an adverb by itself. This is one of the exceptions. Of course, hard is an adjective, similar to difficult, but if you explore the other entries, you will see this. An adverb. And similar to adjectives, adverbs, if they are only one syllable, you can use er. So eliminate more.
Okay, so the more mistakes I make in my career, the more harder is to get a job.
Pleonasm, more is extra.
Yeah. The more mistakes I make in my career, the harder is to get a job.
Exactly. That is correct. The harder it is to get a job. Elaborate your question, your sentence.
Like in what context should I use this?
No. Elaborate means explain more. Give me more details about that opinion.
Okay, because maybe in the nutrition area, there are some people that are really judge. Also, well, this happens more in the clinical area, like in hospitals. When you are there, you need to be perfect. You can, and it's understandable because you're dealing with people's lives.
Yeah.
But everyone is human, so you can make mistakes. And so if you make a mistake, probably depends on what kind of mistake you did, but probably it will get harder to get a job. in the future.
Okay. So mistakes with people's lives. That's what you mean. Oh, yeah. Because I was wondering why that could be. Because if you make mistakes, in the previous example, Chucho was very optimistic about it. No, it's like the more mistakes I make, the more I learn. Yeah, but what happens if you kill a person?
Yes, it's very different.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
That's,
obviously, there are exceptions, no?
exactly.
Yes.
Yes. This is a particular exception.
Well, you're. I mean, if you kill a people, I mean, as a nutritionist, it's very difficult to kill a people, but
Of course. Of course.
you can make worse the the health, estado de salud, the
Okay. Wait. You can make worse. You can worsen
you can worsen
worsen their health status.
the health status. Yes.
Worsen is a verb for worse.
Okay. You can worsen the health status.
Yeah, definitely. Imagine, yes, of course. Like these nutritionists that just, I have seen cases where the person had that diabetic uh, scene, and then they prescribe things that had a lot of sugar, and they destroy the people's lives. So yeah, it's. I agree with you. That's important.
Yes.
Good job. Good job. Wars and watch out, eh? I was. Did we see word transformation? Yes, we saw word formation.
Yes, we did.
Remember that. 8 and if I and ice. The word worse is an adjective, and worsen is a verb. That's so. All right, very good. Now let's go to number 3, and then we check the last one with the others. Sophie, your turn.
Number 3.
Yeah.
The more admired a person is, I don't know if it is correct because I experimented with with words.
That's the point.
The more admired a person is, the weaker worker someone gets.
The weaker worker someone gets. The
Yeah.
weaker worker.
So
What do
in my
you?
mind, weaker is the comparative, of course, but it is also the and maybe worker. No, it's not correct.
What do you mean? Worker is the what?
That someone is gets less productive in her or his job.
Ah.
I don't know, but I didn't know how to say that. I also
Okay.
found in the word in Spanish presumido, but
That
I don't know how
is.
to say that in English.
In English is cocky. There are different words. Let me remember. Spanish to English. Where is it? Where is it? Cocky. Arrogant. Cocky. Snobby.
Cocky, can you spell it, please?
Sure. Cocky. Too confident about yourself.
Cocky.
You can say also arrogant.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, there's a phrasal verb. Stuck up. Thinking that you are more important than other people and behaving in an unfriendly way towards them.
Yeah, that,
Snobbish.
I think that that is the word.
Mhm.
Well, but it is a verb. So,
No. It's an adjective.
yeah, an adjective. It's, I think that it's a verb because you said that it's a.
No.
Okay.
That's an adjective. But anyway, well, that's vocabulary, okay? Now, let's go back to your example. The weaker worker. The structure de cannot. The structure de is a full structure that goes before the noun. Like if you use worker in between, I don't understand what you are describing.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed that the word de is describing the worker.
Yeah,
So you need to take that worker out of that structure.
yeah. And also because I repeated the subject because I said worker and after that I said someone. So
Someone.
worker,
Uh-huh.
someone is okay.
But probably is correct because someone is not a repetition. A repetition is if you repeat worker literally.
But worker is like the subject, right? So
Precisely.
worker is the person.
The person we're talking about. Uh-huh.
Uh, so if I immediately say someone after worker, it's strange, I think. It's weird because
Try to
I
repeat the
already
sentence.
mentioned the subject.
But I'm lost. You need to repeat the sentence. And you need to try to correct it.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me try with this talk up.
Okay.
Uh, more here. I don't know. It would be the stukier up,
Stalking ing?
stukier. The
No, because stuck up is together.
the more stuck up, yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
The
Uh-huh.
more admired a person is, the more stuck up someone gets.
Exactly. And what about worker?
Well, I mean, I just wrote worker because I am thinking about
In a working
in
environment.
work exactly, but not is not necessary to say worker. I mean,
The more admire a
if now
person.
I use the stuck up adjective,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can say someone because it would be in any type of people or
But
environment.
I think this idea is different from the original, no? Because why did you use weaker at the beginning?
Mm, I use weaker because I was thinking about the work environment. So
Mhm.
in my mind it's like okay, if someone is admired, it's already admired. Probably that person starts to down his productivity in the work, or he's like,
Start
oh
to
yeah,
lower. Not a,
starts to
lower is
lower.
not a verb.
Okay, start to lower his productivity.
Ah, yeah, there are
So
two different ideas. Like you had these two ideas in that moment when you
mhm,
couldn't find the vocabulary,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, because after that I thought in someone arrogant or something like that. It's like, well, when someone is admired, like an artist,
Mm-hmm.
they used to be arrogant
Exactly.
because they are admired by many people. So
Okay, fix the original idea. How would you say the original idea?
Okay. Okay. The more admired a person is, the lower productive.
The lower productive.
Like yeah, that
No,
is
but what happened with weak?
the less productive.
But what happened with weak?
I think that weak is not the correct word.
It is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, because after this idea, you normally need to explain.
But how can I say that the work that someone made is weaker? It is possible.
It is, yes, because after that, when you say this sentence, another person is going to ask you, "What do you mean?" And then you will have the opportunity to explain. This is the point of a thesis statement.
Okay.
You see? So technically what you are building first is a thesis statement. And then later you say, because I think this, because the productivity of a worker will lower when everybody admires this person. Okay. And probably you will provide an example, and probably you will give me more and more information. But the thesis statement can be used with the word weak. The thing is, don't try, you cannot put all the information that you want to say in only one sentence.
Yeah.
This is only the beginning of the text.
Okay, but the sentence is not understandable because you ask
need to explain.
Sorry?
Because you need to explain.
Yeah, but you asked me that what did I mean?
Because in a normal conversation, when you have a point, when you have a point, you normally first give the thesis statement and then you elaborate.
Okay.
Your sentence is correct. Trust your words.
So the more admired a person is, the weaker worker someone is correct?
That's the problem. That's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to correct the position of the words, not to change the vocabulary. Admired worker is an incorrect position. That's the point of my feedback.
Okay.
Check it for a moment. Remember what we said at the beginning? Let me pass attendance with Jessie. Okay? Jessie, action. Are you there, Jessie?
Hey, sorry.
Perfect.
Good morning.
Morning, girl.
So I will take attendance, please.
Yes.
Connie?
Absent.
All right. Jesus?
Here. Good morning.
Good morning, Jesus. Itzer?
Absent.
All right. Sophie?
Present, Jessie.
Hi, Sophie. Thank you. Good morning. Fer?
Yes.
Sorry. Hi, Jessie.
Don't worry. Hi, Fer.
Microphone
Thank
problems.
you. Good morning. And Isra?
Isra, absent.
All right. So that's all. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
See you.
Okay, so the original problem was not vocabulary. The problem was the position of worker. That was the issue. Where should you put it?
I don't know. I don't know. I need that you you tell me
What
what
was the sentence?
Uh-huh.
the
Say the
sentence.
sentencing.
The more admired a person is, the weaker worker someone is.
Actually, that's a great thing. You said worker is similar to someone, no?
Yeah, because you are referring to a person,
Precisely.
a worker.
What if we eliminate someone and collocate worker?
Yeah, it's what I was thinking about it, but
Try.
you told me that someone.
Try.
Okay. The more admired a person is, the weaker worker is.
Which worker?
Which worker?
Uh-huh.
Um,
Because when you have a countable noun, you need to be specific.
a worker.
A worker, kinda, because you have a person, and this worker is a specific person.
The worker?
Exactly.
Okay. The more admired a person is, the weaker the worker is.
Exactly. Ta-da. That
Okay.
is the example. The more admired the person is, the weaker the worker. I would change the verb is, and I would change it to become. Becomes.
Okay.
Why? Because originally the person is not weak. With admiration, the person becomes weak. Becomes.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I agree.
finding the right words probably was in the verb, but trust whenever you have a point, trust the words that you are using because you are going to elaborate and you're going to explain later.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I know, but with this sentence, you understand my main point. Maybe after you will ask me that why I am saying that or something like that.
Mhm.
But you understand my main point because I feel that in the first sentence, my main point in the sentence, it is not understandable. You know, it's like,
Exactly.
what did you say? What
Exactly.
did you mean? Because I don't understand what is your main point or what did you say?
That's why I asked you for a mini composition.
Uh-huh.
An opinion, especially when it's a controversial opinion, cannot be expressed in only one sentence.
No, of course not. But you express in that sentence your main point. What do you think?
The
Like
thesis,
okay.
just the thesis. Then in the
Mhm.
second, third, fourth sentence, you say what you're trying to say. You elaborate.
Okay.
You see?
Okay.
That is
Okay.
the point of the exercise. I think it's the like we have the idea that it's only to make an example. Yes, I make an example. The car no the very classic is I run in the park in the morning. That's a classic example. Everybody uses that example, and nobody runs in the park in the morning. Like, come on, but it's a classic way to do the example and not trying like it doesn't become significant meaningful for the person.
Mm-hmm.
This
Okay.
type of exercise is different. It's expanding your opinion so it becomes meaningful and you can use it. And the idea also is if you start with the probably in the next sentences you will need as.
Okay. In the sentence that what I am explaining
Ah, yes, and you can say the worker is not working, is not doing his job. The
as well as.
this as well as he used to do because now the person is cocky or stuck up thanks to the admiration of other people. I don't know, but you are combining all the strategies, all the grammar. You see?
Yeah. Okay. I have to study this topic because I don't know why it is really tricky for me since
Yeah.
yesterday, or yeah, it's like, oh my god. And also I saw an interview with some examples with as and how to use adverb and adjective in the same sentence with as or with the. I have a screenshot, so I have to study them because yeah, like
Well, this is your opportunity to study them.
yeah.
After, let's go for another round and find those screenshots so you can share it to us.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Let's go to number the same one as Sophie. The more admired a person is, Fer.
I don't know if this is correct. Okay, so I don't like meeting influencers with many followers because the more admired a person is, the harder to be a nice person gets.
The harder to the harder to be a nice person gets.
So like the thing that I want to say is that if someone has many followers, there's a really big possibility that it won't be a nice person.
Uh-huh. Yes, that's definitely
But
it.
I don't know if this is correct. The structure is correct.
Okay. Because of the structure, you are saying that the person is difficult, not
Okay.
the situation where it's difficult to become a nice person. There is in English there is a specific pronoun we use when you talk about situations. What is it?
When we talk about what?
Situations. Let's say, for example, correct my mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Is difficult to live in a different country, to move to a different country. Is difficult to move to a different country.
It's difficult to move to a different country.
What's missing? It sounds correct, right?
This is the kind of TOEFL exercises that I don't like.
Yes, you're thinking in Spanish.
Yes, it's difficult.
Help, Fer. Anyone. Chucho, you have the answer. How would you correct it?
Yes. It's because you can say you can start a sentence only with is.
Exactly. You never, like in Spanish, never start a sentence only with this, with the verb to be.
Okay, it is.
It is. Exactly.
Okay.
The reason it sounds correct is because American people will contract. They will say it's. Uh-huh. This is the structure that your idea needs. You need to include an it because the people are not the heart. The situation is the heart.
So, because the more admired a person is, the harder to be a nice person gets. Because the more admired a person is...
Yes. The harder.
Okay, because the more admired a person is, it's the harder to be a nice person.
Switch. It's the harder. Switch.
The harder is.
It's separate.
It is.
Complete.
The harder it is to be a nice person.
Exactly.
Okay. But the harder to be.
Or the harder it is
to be a nice person.
Or you can use the harder it gets. Using the original verb that you said.
Okay, the harder it gets. To be a nice person.
To be a
Okay,
nice person.
so it will be, I don't like meeting influencers with many followers because the more admired a person is, the harder it gets to be a nice person.
Yes.
Okay.
Mind blown, right?
Mhm.
Because that is the part of a very classic thing is to ignore the pronoun it because it doesn't mean anything in Spanish. So in many cases we ignore it when it's very useful. My solution for that is to observe very carefully when a person in a movie or in a podcast or in an interview use the person it. You will see that technically the word the harder it is technically a chunk.
Yes.
People will say the harder it is together, always or often.
Yeah, that's why it gets a little confused with it is and is.
Exactly.
Okay,
There you have it, girl. Good.
thank you.
Good. That was a very interesting correction. What about Chucho? The more admired the person is?
Okay. The more I admire a person is, the more money she may have.
And it's specifically a woman?
She may have, I don't know.
Well, that's interesting. Pronouns. Let's start talking about inclusion. If you don't want and if you don't know what pronoun to use they.
Okay. Yes,
For
yes.
any type of gender, doesn't matter what identity you can have, use they.
That was my question because the example, the original sentence is with a person, but my mind was okay. Well, women.
Exactly. Are we talking about a woman or a man? And why specifically a woman?
Can I include two or more? Exactly. Okay. So
The
that
solution
more
is they.
admire.
Even though I know they is plural, but it's like when you say you as singular, but it's singular, but you say you are. No, so similar case. If you say they are, I understand it's singular because in the previous example you say a person.
Oh.
So, that helps together.
Brujería. Okay. So
Completely.
the more admire a person is, the more money they may have.
Exactly. That's correct. Much better. Because now it feels, if you say she, it feels personal.
Yeah, because I don't know. I didn't know.
I know. That's good. Excellent. Let's go to
By the
number.
way, I found the meme that explained the first situation that he said with patience. Let me send you the group.
Yes,
Very
please.
funny.
What patients?
In the hospital, you can kill people to learn.
Oh, okay. Yes, please. Please, I want to see that. I really want to see that.
Funny.
I love memes. All right. Sophie, number 4. What's the bigger the better?
In this one, I remember the answer that the example from yesterday. When you say yes, it is. No. Yes, the bigger, the best. Yeah, right.
That was it? Okay. You're talking about the exercise that we did yesterday, no? There was one. Okay. Can you repeat the example?
Yeah. What's the bigger, the better? Yeah, the bigger. I think the bigger, the best.
I think the bigger the best. Okay. Two mistakes. One, best is superlative, so we are not comparing. You cannot use a superlative in this exercise.
Okay, yeah.
You know, because the top number one has no comparison.
Yeah.
But the second mistake is more important because there it's a contextual mistake. What what do you want to say? I think like this example was only an example, no? Like it was not an opinion.
Yeah.
So yes.
What? Okay. Um. I right now I feel so stressed with this topic. Yeah.
Why?
I
Relax.
don't know. I don't know. Maybe because I well I understand more,
Uh-huh.
but not as I am trying to use it.
You're gonna use it. You're gonna use it, but not
But
as
not as I would, as well as I would like.
well as I would like. Ah, very nice.
So that's a problem for me and
Well,
for my ego. But well,
no. The problem is not the topic because in this second you made an excellent example. Not as well as. Of course, you need to separate yourself from the as well as because now you are learning as well as a chunk. But that's a good start. Now imagine instead of well, you use amazing or crazy or fantastic or hungry or any other adjective.
okay.
That's the only thing that you need to do. I think the issue is not the grammar topic. The issue is not understanding the exercise. That's the thing. Because when I ask you for an example, you give me an example. That's it. Here's 1 peso. Finish. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
The idea
Yeah.
is to make you express your opinions.
My
That's
opinion.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
Well, the question is what's the bigger, the better.
Mhm.
So the question means that that is someone is that is someone that is something is bigger,
Uh-huh.
probably it also it's better
Uh-huh, for you.
for me. That is if I think that.
Uh-huh. What thing in specific is better when it's bigger for you?
Okay. Okay. I think
Mhm.
yes, an ice cream. I really think that
Yes.
if an ice cream, the bigger an ice cream is,
Uh-huh.
the better.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Yes, we did
Okay.
it. Yes. The bigger an ice
Okay.
cream is, the better. Excellent, girl. That's the thing. Personal opinions, guys. What about fair? What's the bigger the better for you?
Okay, so the bigger the better. Okay, so I'm saving money for my retirement. So the bigger my bank account gets, the better it will be.
Of course. Of course, of course, of course. The better your. Do you know how you say senitude?
What say what?
How do you say senitude in English?
Senitude? No.
When you become old, it's elder years.
Mm. Elderly.
No, but you have seen that? Have you seen Mean Girls in English?
Yes.
That's your homework. Watch it again.
Okay.
Especially when Lindsay Lohan is the mom. And she says senitud. There is a scene in specific.
Senitud. Okay, we will watch it.
It's very funny, that part. I don't remember how do you say that in English. I haven't seen Mean Girls in English. Only in Spanish. But that's my homework. All right, Chucho. What's the bigger the better?
Oh no, I have pena.
You are shy.
Yes, the food in general.
Oh yes, me too. And you are talking to two nutritionists.
Oh no,
This is a problem. We're talking about portions.
don't hate me. I have a
Go,
problem.
bro. You have my support. I like buffets too. Action.
The more food I eat, the more happy I am.
The more again.
The more food I eat, the more happy I am.
Oh.
That's wrong.
More happy is grammatically correct because happy ends in Y. A2.
The more happier? No, the happier.
The happier, exactly.
Yes, oh no. Qué vergüenza.
Yes, bro. In English, what a shame. What a shame. Oh my God.
The eat, the happier I am.
The more I eat, the happier I am. Okay,
true.
What about bigger and better? Are you talking about portions, the size of your meal?
So yes, obviously, no. The bigger the food it is, the better it's for me.
Exactly. The bigger the food it is. The food is too general.
The bigger food it is.
What about dish?
A dish? Yes, the bigger a dish it is, the better it is for me.
Much better. Eliminate it because dish is the object.
Okay. The bigger a dish is, the better it's for me.
Exactly. The better it's for me. Exactly. Yes, I know. The situation here is a vocabulary issue. We need more words.
Yes, more words, and don't confuse it or where collocate the words of the subject. Oh no. I understand, Sophie. Yes.
Yes, you understand, Sophie. Exactly. Yes, it's the same. The problem that's very natural. That's very natural. When we speak English, we don't pay attention to this specific construction of sentences.
Yes.
But when you dominate them, you pass any exam. Like that's it. Everything becomes easy, super easy.
Yes.
Very good, Joe. Yes, we have time for one more round. Let's go for number 5. Sophie, do you like big TVs?
Me, right? This is the I like or I can say I think the bigger is the best. The bigger the best. In this case, I think that it's correct that
best is relative.
Oh yeah, the bigger the better.
Aha, excellent. You're thinking in Spanish.
Yeah. I hate that. Okay. What's the bigger? No. Do you like big TVs? Yeah, I think the bigger, the better.
Why?
Because you can watch everything. And you can watch more detail in whatever you are watching, a movie, a video, whatever,
Right.
because it's bigger, so you can the details also get bigger because the TV is bigger.
Yes, of course.
I said bigger a lot of times. But yeah,
Oh. In relation to the television, the details gets bigger, no?
exactly. So you can watch.
That's a the structure.
Oh, okay.
You can use the to say the same idea you just said.
Really?
Yeah, because when you say the one depend on the other. So the television is bigger.
The details are bigger too.
Exactly. Omit the verb to be.
The bigger details are.
But what happened to the television? Complete idea.
Okay. The bigger a television is,
Mm-hmm.
the bigger details,
Specific details.
the bigger the details
Mm-hmm.
get,
Get.
or,
Mm-hmm.
or
I would say look.
okay, it sounds better because if I say no, get, become is not correct because the detail, or yeah,
Exactly. It's well, that's probable too. Become because that's probable too. That's another option. The
okay.
bigger the details become.
Yep. But I
The
think that it's better look. I like more that one.
appear.
Appear.
The bigger the details appear.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one too. Okay. So the bigger a television is, the bigger details
Which
appear.
details?
The details appear.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have more ideas, no? Because I interrupted you.
Yeah. 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 It is better right now. Okay.
Okay. Excellent. Good. 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 What about Fer? What do you think about big TVs?
Okay, so I said I love watching movies. So I decided to buy a TV as very big as a cinema screen.
Eliminate very.
As big as a cinema screen.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Wondering.
doubting about very.
Yeah, that's the very. If you want to emphasize, use very as big. You can use it before as the first. Pretty as big, very as big, quite as big.
Oh, it's before the as. I was confused about that. Okay.
Perfect. Solutions.
Very as big. Okay, so it would be I love watching movies, so I decided to buy a TV very as big as a cinema screen.
Fantastic. Oof, that sounds great. That sounds like English.
Okay.
Nice. Chucho.
Yes, me too. I like big TVs, but I don't want to say the same thing. So let me find a negative example. That's not real. I like
Okay.
big TVs. Big TVs are not a great option because seeing your favorite movies is not quite as good as seeing it in your
Movies,
smartphone.
plural. Así.
As seeing as well, what?
As seeing. You said as seeing it. but it is only it's singular.
Seeing them.
Exactly. Your phone. Okay, again, repetition.
Seeing movies is not quite as good as seeing them in your smartphone.
Okay. Your sentence is grammatically correct, but let's check context. If you're in your sentence, no, the sentence is right. But I am understanding that you prefer watching movies in the cell phone.
Yes.
So that's correct.
Yes.
Okay. Then this is correct. Yes, because remember, that's what you started saying something very important. I don't want to say the same. What if you say the same in a different way?
That's impossible. No, I don't know.
No, it's possible. You can use the verb talk about compare the cell phone screen and a television screen, implying that you don't like to watch the television on the cell phone. You don't like to watch movies on the cell phone.
Okay.
How would you say that?
The Monday I will give you that answer. No.
I will wait patiently.
No, see. Let me think 3 seconds.
Yes, of course. Express yourself negatively about the phone.
I like watching my favorite movies in a big TV as no.
No, because you are speaking positively.
So in this case, I prefer big TVs, but watching the movies. So okay.
You can use the same sentence, the same sentence you said, only change the cell phone for the TV.
Watching my favorite movies on TV. No. On the smartphone.
On the cell phone, negative.
Not quite as good as watching them on a TV.
Exactly. And you said exactly the same as Per and Sophie in a different way. You said not as good as watching them in a big TV.
Okay, I need to think it in the night.
Yes. Talk to your pillow.
Yes. Exactly.
Excellent practice, guys. You are realizing the importance of positioning words in English. You see? How important it is when before you didn't have this in consideration. Now you are learning that, and this is so nice. Very nice, people. We finished for today. We completed the week. Right. I will stop the stream, but I'm going to stay with Sophie and Fer for specific questions about the TOEFL. If you want to stay, Chucho, you are completely invited.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yes.
Yes, if you want to. Because do you want to? I already stopped. No, I haven't stopped it. Where? Do you want to speak it in Spanish or in English?
In Spanish.